Hi there. This is The Flower of Freedom by Deborah J. Reeves. We're on chapter 37. Make yourself comfortable. Take a deep breath and hear your own good heart. This chapter is called Reunions. Murray told the driver, "My mother and I are the same size. When she wore the dress I got her for Christmas to a party, she looked just like a princess. Everyone thought so. I decided that she should feel that way every day, and so I left her all my nice things because I have so many more at the penthouse. It's a surprise. She'll find them when she goes into my room at home when she misses me." The driver nodded solemnly and he said, "Your uncle is in the car. He's looking more relaxed and happier than I have seen him in some time. He's excited that you came back. He never used to admit things like that. Hurry, the parking attendants want the town car moved." Uncle Key was standing next to the car when they emerged through the airport doors. He had no reserve this time. He rushed forward and he gave Marie a tender hug. "My dear Marie Claire, welcome back. How I missed you and your smiling face." She realized that Uncle Key was different. He seemed to have shed an oppressive weight from his shoulders. He seemed lighter. "We have about 2 weeks together before Paulette returns. I must warn you that I have taken to stalking the halls of the penthouse in my slippers. Thank God for the maids. I have discovered how inept I am. I could not even make coffee for myself until I learned to use the cafetiere." He laughed at himself. Marie found that she was delighted to be with him again, too. All the way back to Paris, she told him about Christmas with her family and how excited Bertie was about going to Switzerland. "He's telling all his friends that they should call him Monsieur now because he is so posh. They just poke him in the ribs and they call him Monsieur Dog Breath. I went to 2 of his hockey games and all his buddies were there. They were almost too shy to talk to me now. Imagine, boys that I grew up with. But I suspect Bertie told them about my encounter with Damien, and now they know I mean business. Did I tell you that Bertie bought me a can of mace for Christmas, along with pink long underwear for the Canadian cold? Yeah, the mace is for husband hunters," he said, and again they laughed aloud. The driver wondered to himself if he had ever seen Monsieur Key laugh before, and he was almost certain that he had not. The driver enjoyed telling his wife the stories when he got home that evening. "She's such a nice young woman, and she brings out the very best in him." Back at the apartment building, Vincent the doorman rushed to open the door, and he welcomed back Mademoiselle Marie Claire with a big smile. He also directed a big smile towards Monsieur Key. He ushered them to the elevator as the driver brought in the luggage. The doorman looked up with surprise at the weight of her case, and Marie said, "I'll tell you that story later, Vincent. I can take it up myself now." Then she turned to her uncle and she said, "Mama's the same size as I am, so I left my things for her. I hope that's all right." "Of course it's all right. While you were away, I contacted all the shops and I made accounts for you in your own name. I even called the manicure shop that Paulette uses, and I made an account for you there. You, my dear, shall be your own woman. I shall make a reservation for dinner tonight, or would you rather stay in?" "If it's all the same to you, I'd rather just stay in today. I will have to sleep for a while this afternoon, and I simply want to enjoy being at the penthouse with you." "Oh, I was hoping you would feel that way. I've given the maid the week off, and she cleaned up my messes and made a nice, presentable place for you again, poor woman. She was so pleased to have more vacation to spend with her own family as a reward. I thought the two of us could spend some lazy time together if it's not too boring. Just let me know if you want to invite your friends, and I will make myself scarce. My office was shocked when I told them that I was not coming in until after New Year on a date to be announced." He chuckled with glee. Marie thought that this must be what it was like when an antique refinisher stripped down an old, fine piece of furniture that had been painted over. The wonder of seeing the piece in its original beauty could not be greater than the joy she was feeling at seeing her Uncle Aki in his true form. As she walked into the penthouse, she marveled at the lightness she felt. It felt different, and then she felt guilty. She knew why it felt different. Paulette was not there. The two of them spent the day isolating themselves in the penthouse. They ordered in food that Paulette would never have allowed. Marie introduced Aki to the joys of pizza and Chinese food eaten from cartons. They read books, they napped, they talked about topics that would have made Aunt Paulette roll her eyes with boredom, and they had fun. They talked about Uncle Aki's work, which Marie had never once heard him speak of before, and they talked about when she expected to hear about a university application. "Where would you like to spend New Year's Eve, my dear?" Uncle Aki asked, and then he showed her a handful of invitations to lavish parties. "I suppose we should attend one. Do you have a dress?" The look in Marie's eyes, as she nodded, said that she had dresses galore. Marie surveyed the invitations, and then she pulled out one she would most enjoy. She handed it to him. "Good choice. I like them too. I always find their home to be so much more low-key and kind. Paulette would never accept that invitation, so I think it would be lovely to take this opportunity to accept their hospitality. If you are certain, I think it would be nice for me to call and see if the invitation is still open at this late date." Marie nodded, and Aki went to the telephone. When he returned, he said, "They seemed genuinely pleased to get my call." I explained that Paulette was traveling and that it would just be the two of us, and that was fine. The party starts with dinner at 8 tomorrow night. That's the end of chapter 37. Please come back for chapter 38, New Year's Revelations. I'm glad you were here. Come back, please. Your friend Deborah.